Let's talk about the rappers for a minute. Can we talk about the rappers for a moment? Let's talk about Tupac Shakur for a moment. Tupac Shakur is a child of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, born out of the spirit of the revolution of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, fire in his bones, boldness and rebellion in his blood. Born from his beautiful, bold Black Panther mama, Hussein, sitting in the jail cell, a revolutionary woman carrying the fruit of life, marking the child in her womb, marking the child with rebellion, marking the child with insurrection, marking the child with a spirit to not go along with what's been going on.
Beat me, young G, with a gift to gab. Outlawz, outlawz, outlawz. Hussein fatal. Hussein fatal.
Let's talk about the rappers for a minute. Can we talk about the rappers for a moment? Let's talk about Tupac Shakur for a moment. Tupac Shakur is a child of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, born out of the spirit of the revolution of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, fire in his bones, boldness and rebellion in his blood. Born from his beautiful, bold Black Panther mama, Hussein, sitting in the jail cell, a revolutionary woman carrying the fruit of life, marking the child in her womb, marking the child with rebellion, marking the child with insurrection, marking the child with a spirit to not go along with what's been going on.
Beat me, young G, with a gift to gab. Outlawz, outlawz, outlawz. Hussein fatal. Hussein fatal.
Do you have a question or a comment?
I have a question. Yes, I do. I have a question.
Okay.
My name is Monty Krista. I reside here in Miami, Florida. You know, and I would like to know, where did you come up with your stage name? Because it's unique, it's different, and I'd like to know that.
Well, before I even came, my name was already Fatal when I was in the hood, in my own hood. My name was already Fatal, but then when we got with Pac, you know, this nigga, this crazy guy, he was like, we should all get names of the people that governments hate. And you know, Hussein came about because I had my hood under siege already, like the real Hussein. That shit could have been Iraq, and I was the real Hussein. So that shit was like, fuck it, Hussein. That's all.
Okay. Are you working on any new projects at the moment, knowing that 2015 is around the corner?
Well, we got some shit in the making, you know, I pretty much can't talk about, but what I can talk about is this book that's already done, that I'm gonna wind up trying to put out after this Tupac biopic come out, whenever that is. So that's my next thing. I got the website, fatalbelly.com. You can log on to that, you know, give you a lot of workout tips and show you what we currently working on. You know, we got the outlawuniversity.net clothing. We got the Be Loyal clothing coming soon. You know, we working.
Well, I salute you on your mission. Real talk. You're like one of the realest ones out here right now.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Sandbox Caller. Also, we have caller 1533. You're live in the sandbox. Caller 1533. You're live in the sandbox. Do you have a question or a comment?
What's good?
What's up, Fader? I'm good, man. Big. I just.
The phone breaking up. Your phone breaking up, caller.
I wanted to ask, what was the funniest memory you got of Pac?
The funniest? It's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them, but it's definitely this one time, man, when we was out and he decided he wanted to go, cause you gotta remember back then I was kind of older, man. I was like 21, 22, and the nigga Pac, I had ID. So it's like he wanted to jump out. He wanted to go somewhere one day without security and shit. And we motherfucking went to some strip club. But anyway, we got all drunk and shit. Man, this dude started driving fast as hell in his act and shit. And in LA, they got them motherfucking, on the 405, they got them bumps in the road or something. It's like the Jag was like jumping over the bumps and he just looking at me laughing like the shit was funny. And I'm holding on tight as hell like, damn, we about to die on the fucking highway.
Damn.
That was one time, but hold on, here's another one. We was on Melrose Place in Cali. And we was in some shop. And I seen this bitch. I seen her looking like Janet Jackson and shit, so I let her walk by, right? I ain't say nothing because I ain't want to be all starstruck and shit. I ain't want to tell him. He gonna be like, nigga, he's starstruck. So like 3 minutes passed. I'm like, yo, I think I just saw Janet Jackson. That nigga turned around like, where'd she go? He like, why the fuck you ain't tell me where she was at? You stupid motherfucker. Yo, he went and chased this lady down, and it was a fucking lookalike. Yo, that shit was funny as hell.
Man.
Yo, that shit was funny as hell. We made a joke out of it at the end, but yo, that shit was funny as hell. But shit, that's about it.
I appreciate you sharing the stories, man.
It's all good, man.
Yes. Yes. I want to ask you another question, Fatal. What was it like when you saw yourself doing the first video, like you actually see it on television? What was that moment like?
It was over. Well, when I was in Cali, it was like, when I was in Cali and I saw it, it really wasn't nothing new. But when I went home, back then we had like the box. You could order the motherfucking video on the box. You ain't had to wait for your shit to come on.
Yeah, that's a throwback right there.
Word. We used to have full control of the shit. So I'm sitting there. I ain't even tell. See, you got to remember, I was a wild child. My mother, she was cool. She did the best she could. But I could spend a night out. I could just be somewhere and it wasn't nothing. So I didn't even tell these mothers I was going to Cali and shit. My family and I just left. I got on a plane and went to Cali and shit. I come back home and all that, and the box is on. I go to my grandparents' house and shit. We sitting there. Then I call, my brother come downstairs and he ordered the video on the fucking box, and that shit came on, and all my family was just looking at me like I was a fucking stranger, like they couldn't believe. Me coming from Cali, I already knew, it wasn't nothing for me. But the family was like, oh, God, nigga, you made it. Like, they couldn't believe this shit. And it was like, yo, they just looked at me different as hell ever since then. Because, before that, I used to run around the house writing rhymes and all this silly shit, coming from jail with a rap book. And they looking at me crazy, like, nigga, you better get a fucking job or a GD or something. And then come to find out, next thing I know, I'm on the fucking box. So it was pretty weird for them and shit. To see the shit back home, it was definitely awesome to me.
And what about radio? What happened with radio? With the radio, I meant to say radio. Then that particular seeing yourself on television. I know I always tell a lot of crazy stories about radio. Where were you when you heard it on radio for the first time?
When I heard the music on radio?
Yes, when you heard the music on radio for the first time.
Well, we heard the first thing I heard on the radio was fucking Hit 'Em Up. We was actually in Cali. I heard Hit 'Em Up the day after we did this shit. The shit happened so fast. It was like, we laying in the bed. Yeah, we laying in the bed at the Oakwoods, and the shit just came on the radio. Once it came on the radio, you know, Kadafi and all them woke me up like, yo, the shit on the radio. So we listening to it. Then, like, maybe like an hour after that, all the homies from Jersey started calling like, yo, every car up here is playing that shit, blase, blase, blah, and all that. But in Jersey, you wouldn't hear, they don't play that shit. They don't play that shit. They play that shit all over the world. But Jersey and New York, they don't play that shit. They probably play Dead Fucking Mama around Mother's Day. That's it. That's it. They don't play no Tupac. They might act like they want to play that shit maybe on an anniversary or something, but they really don't. They only play that shit because the call comes from upstairs. They don't play that shit.
Well, it sounds like New Jersey got some haters.
Say that again?
I say it sounds like New Jersey got some haters.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know,
like
it's love. It's love out there, but you gotta take it. But you gotta remember, it ain't Jersey. It ain't Jersey. It's like, you know, New York controls the whole tri-state area as far as radio. You know what I'm saying? We only got one radio station for New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Nobody wants to put Jersey on. Pop. That's why Pop, he shocked the world when motherfuckers, he brought some niggas from Jersey over, because, you know, motherfuckers know about Jersey, but Pop is like, I'm putting these niggas on. Plus, he knew Tretch and all them crazy motherfuckers.
Yes,
so he put us on.
I have another caller, 7092. Caller 7092, do you have a question or a comment? You're live in the sandbox. Caller 7092. Okay, I guess they're just listening. I have a lot of listeners. I want to ask another question, Fatal. Another thing. What was your fondest memory in the studio with Tupac? The studio. Do you have any studio memories, like, you know, being in the studio with him, and, you know, what was that like?
I got a lot. I mean, we just used to work hard in the studio. I used to be the blunt roller until a couple of other Outlaw members came up. Then I started handing them the weed. It was like a chain of command. But we used to beat niggas the fuck up. Niggas used to come to the session and be like, yo, if the Outlaws is in there, we don't want to work. Pac used to be like, yo, come in there with his crazy ass laugh. Y'all can't come in today. Blase, blase, blah, don't want y'all in there. The niggas scared. You know, I ain't gonna put nobody out there. It was a couple of niggas that was like, yo, because niggas used to beat niggas up every time, you know, Pac. Every time. That was back in the day, niggas. I'm quite sure we ain't on it like that now, but, you know, that's what it was in the 90s. But beating niggas up, that was my fondest memory.
Okay, we have our GM in the sandbox right now. Caller, Fly Ass Day, you're live in the sandbox.
Yo, what's up, Fatal? What's happening, bro?
What's going on, man? One day at a time, brother.
I hear it. I appreciate you coming in the sandbox today, all the listeners, and all the supporters that's tuning in today. Shout out to Elegant, Diamond Tracks, Miss Diamond Tracks, where I'm gonna put in my brother King that's out there. A question of mine, man, is you know, with the Outlawz right now, what y'all doing, you know what I'm saying? It seems like, you know, have anybody like, you know, Snoop or anybody like that has reached back out to y'all, you know what I mean? Because I know all the work that Pac did, you know what I'm saying? You know, working with him and shit like that. You know, I want to know if anybody like that has, you know, reached out that was around Pac. You know, Dre, any of them type of people like that.
Hell no. Hey, yo, like me, niggas ain't looking for handouts. When when Pac died, I went back to Jersey, you know, with no money, you know, I already had coke and all that shit on the street. So, you know, I just went the fuck home. But some niggas, it was cool. Some niggas was cool with that shit. But, the topic of the show, you know, that's the topic of the motherfucking whole situation. Niggas that act like they got love to this fucking day. But if I say something, then I'm a fucking troublemaker. Man, niggas don't, fuck everybody. I don't give a fuck about none of them niggas, and they don't give a fuck about me. But nah, them niggas, man, niggas be fake as hell. I don't give a fuck who listening or nothing. Niggas be faking Niggas will say some shit. Listen to the music, some of that shit, man. Them niggas be actually talking about Pac in their music. But fans be so fucking dumb, and niggas I'm with, like, even some of my niggas, like, niggas be so fucking dumb, they be kissing ass with all these stars, and them niggas don't even fuck with Pac. Them niggas are liars. They get in their music, niggas will hear that shit and try to act like they don't hear it. Nigga, I hear it, and fuck niggas. Like, I don't fuck with niggas, I don't get in videos with niggas. Like, man, please. If I ain't need a little bit of money, I wouldn't even be on songs with these motherfuckers. These niggas is clowns, every last one of them.
Wow. Well, okay, I have another caller that have a question. Caller 9666, you're live in the Sandbox. Do you have a question or comment for Fatal? Caller 9666, do you have a question or comment for Hussein Fatal?
No.
You're live in the Sandbox.
Are you single, Fatal?
Nah.
Great. My bubble tonight.
No, I'm not.
That's good. Well, congratulations, sexy man.
Thanks.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy, Fatal. Also, I didn't see that one coming, Fatal.
Oh, nah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so like you said, you know, if anyone is just tuning in the Sandbox, our topic for today was what's more fatal, love or hate? And we built our topic around our special guest, Fatal. And like you said, you know, some people, they just really be hating and doing crazy stuff. I think jealousy is a part of hate as well. What do you say about that, Fatal?
I mean, jealousy conjures up the hate. It starts with jealousy first before it gets to hate. You feel me? Once you're jealous of somebody, you just jealous of them for what? You want to know. But then, after your jealousy don't work, motherfuckers start telling lies, and then that don't work. You be like, fuck it, I just hate that nigga. Fuck that nigga. Can't stand him.
Right. Caller 4392, I see you're live in the Sandbox. Do you have a question or a comment for Fatal? 4392?
Yeah, it's Scotty Mac. Fatal's a legend, man. He's been down forever, and I bump everything he's got, you know. Riding all week on him, that's all he does, man. Keeps it real every day of the week.
Appreciate you, bro. I try, man. I try to keep it real and right. I try to keep it real and right. Because even real is a word that's being bounced around. You know, niggas say they real, that don't mean they right.
No, you keep it to the heart, man. You know, man, 1995, I heard you on a plane going to London, England, man, and it was nothing but straight rawness, man. And since then, it's been on, you know, Outlawz University. I bump that every day. Thug Life, Illuminati, Weird Out. Tell everybody about it. Everybody asks about where you get it. I tell them where to go, man.
I appreciate that, bro. Because without that support, then we'll be somewhere stuck. Believe me, without the true real hip hop heads, we'll be somewhere stuck, and it's fucked up. It don't even come from the. It don't even come from the. You know, it barely comes from the United States of America. It barely comes from our own community. It comes from the people that motherfuckers is trying to shun away from hip hop.
That's the truth all the time. You Noble and Edie, man. You hold down all the time, man. Actual, you guys all rock, man. Like
that's what's up.
Yeah, man. I just called in to say respect, man, and word up.
Y'all appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, caller, for being supportive.
Oh, you got to be supportive to the truest movement in the world, man. Nothing better than Pac and the Outlawz.
Yes. Thank you, caller. We really appreciate it. Like he said,